Hello and welcome to K-Stop Fuses K-Pop Podcast. As always, I am Jeff Benjamin, joined by my slightly under the weather but still most visual member of this entire podcast team, Tina.
Hey guys, this is Tina, and as Jeff mentioned, I am not feeling too good. Haven't been these past few days, but hopefully I will be A-okay 100% in the next couple of days. So if I sound like a man and very hoarse, I apologize.
But don't you guys love it? I love it. I think it sounds great.
You won't love it when I start hacking. All right, I'm gonna try to keep it.
We got our
low-key,
tea.
though.
We got it. But thank you guys as always for tuning in. Fun fact, this is episode number 10. Happy 10th anniversary.
We're on 10?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's flying by.
I
thought this was like 8 or 9.
Oh no, Tina. It's
We're
episode
on
10.
10. That's
Happy
crazy.
10th anniversary.
10th anniversary.
Not really. 10th episode anniversary.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine when we hit like 50?
Oh my god.
That'd be crazy. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that
This
will
is so exciting.
Almost be
Well,
a year.
yay.
Yeah, so thank you guys as always for tuning in. You guys are always, like we always say, you're part of this podcast as much as we are. And this is why we always kick it off with some comments that we got from you guys. And there's so many ways you can interact with K-Stop. You can leave comments on fuse.tv where we post every episode. You can leave comments on iTunes, leave us a rating. We can talk to us on Twitter. We love it all. So we are first going to kick it off real quickly and give a shout out to Tenny, who is at career YouTuber, who wrote to me and Tina on Twitter using the K-Stop hashtag. And she wrote, "I'm really loving the hashtag K-Stop podcast at the moment. You're introducing me to such great new music. Much love from the UK." So
Aww.
first off, shout out to the UK.
Yes.
Shout out across the pond. Thank you so much for tuning in. We actually, it's kind of cool. We get stats from iTunes about where you guys are tuning in. Of course, lots from America, lots from Korea. But then we also see places like Germany, and we see UK, and we see South Africa. So it's very exciting to see you guys.
Yeah, it's great to see that we have, international reach and people all around the world are listening to us.
Yes, so
it's very exciting.
Yes, it's very exciting here. We always want to hear where you guys are from. Give us a shout out on Twitter, wherever you're from, because we want to know where you guys are listening from. So give us a check-in anytime you want. We'll love that.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Tenny, for tuning in and giving us some love from the UK.
And it's great that she said that we're putting her onto some new music.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Glad to be of service.
Of service. No, exactly. Because, of course, that there's obviously so much music going on in Korea. I mean, obviously it's a huge country. It has its own huge music industry. I think it is one of the top 10 in the world at the moment. And, we are doing our best to be as all-encompassing and give you guys as much, interesting stuff and variety and fun stuff and things that you guys are talking about and things that we're listening to. So, yes, we hope we're giving you at least something new every week. So,
Absolutely.
And we hopefully have that with this episode. Yeah. So thanks, Tenny. The other comment we wanted to give a shout out to comes from loyal listener at Confuzzed, Squish13, who responded to a comment that we had from last week, actually. If you guys remember Megan Lee, who is doing awesome stuff in Korea and in America, had released stuff with Beast in Korea, is starring in Nickelodeon's Make It Pop show right now, the K-pop inspired Nick Cannon produced show. And she actually mentioned that she wanted to see us on video.
And I was very adamant about not having a video.
But then Mr. Confuzzed here wrote, "Yo, I'm down with a weekly video just to see Tina. No offense to you, Jeff." Rolling on the floor laughing my ass off. So, no harm to my ego or anything like that. I agree that I would much rather watch Tina than me.
Maybe not this week, but Yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll have like a special video segment or feature in the future.
And we're looking to bring new things to the show. We're thinking about who we can bring in to get commentary from and talk to. So there's so much potential for K-Stop, I feel like.
Yes,
so
I mean, video is not totally off the table.
Video is totally not off the table. In fact, we originally started filming these things.
Right.
Filming us.
Oh, great. Now people know that we have original like old clips of us. Somewhere in the Fuse library stash.
Fuse archives.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of scared to view those because that was when like we didn't used to like look at each other and like.
Oh yeah, it was very very awkward. So when we were testing this whole thing out.
Yeah. So maybe as a special Throwback Thursday one day.
Yes.
But we're looking into all things. So if you guys ever have any suggestions, like Megan Lee does, like Confused does, please let us know.
Yeah, throw them our way.
Yes, please. So, but we got a great episode for you guys. So much exciting things going on.
Exciting.
And let's just get right into the music, the new music of the week. Tina, I feel like we got a bunch of boys on the roster today. Who did you want to hit up first?
Let's talk about Block B, just because, we've been anticipating their comeback. They released that pre-release track a few years later, the slow ballad. That was very nice and lovely, and I feel like that really set the tone for their EP, which is titled Blooming Period, correct?
Blooming Period.
The title's a little weird. Makes me think of pregnancy. Because that's like the term for like when you're not getting morning sickness anymore and you're like really glowing or something. You're ready for your pregnancy. That's what I think it is.
Oh my gosh.
But of course, in Korea, that's not what they call it. So it's fine. We will give that a pass.
I think the translation got maybe a little mixed up while it came to English. But
right.
I'm particularly curious about the title. But we were really excited about it because I think even the pre-release of the Buzz track a few years later, that was trending in like the top 5 like 2 weeks ago or something. And we were excited, but there were so many other things to talk about in music because as you guys know, this has been like a jam-packed spring in terms of K-pop. But I am really, really impressed and digging all of this. The lead single, of course, is Toy, which kind of, I feel like, is a progression of a few years later. A few years later kind of almost went in like neo-soul territory.
Yeah.
They were kind of pushing that idea. And then Toy is almost like melancholy hip-hop R&B sound.
Right, definitely more of the R&B, more upbeat.
And this has got to be totally like Zico, who Block B, Block B has always been, you could always count on them for like really like attitude heavy like bangers.
Right. They have a lot of charisma.
Yeah, and then they came out with this whole new side to them, like this whole much more down tempo, a little more melancholy.
They're definitely softer. It's a very sentimental EP.
Yeah, and I feel like that has to do a lot with Zico, who's been he's been trying a lot of different things himself. Zico is, of course, produce, compose, wrote on almost every track on this EP.
Right. And didn't he had that solo ballad that featured, was it Luna?
Yeah, it was Luna.
And that was a totally different sound for him, I feel like.
Right. It was Love. That was one of the he released that earlier. And then, don't forget that he also released I Am You, You Are Me, which was him, crooning basically for the first time, like really showing off that side.
Zico's getting all like soft, but not in like a bad way or anything.
No, not a bad way at all.
It's like it works for him.
Because I think this is a really fascinating direction for them, and I think it's doing quite well over in Korea too. So people are just really feeling this, and I think Zico's just becoming, he's doing so many things. He did like this he's done a lot of fun hip-hop tracks in the past. Now he's doing this new side of him, with I Am You, You Are Me, and It Was Love. And then
you can definitely sense the growth and maturity, not just in Zico, but in all of Block B.
Right, yeah, there's so many things going on. And, you mentioned It Was Love, and remember, I believe it's pronounced Taeil. He covered that same song that Luna did on the EP, and it's actually like a very comparable.
Oh my god! I can't believe I didn't even make that connection right away. Right? Okay, yeah.
And I actually ran a poll on Twitter just to see what people were feeling more. I was just kind of curious. You guys can always follow me. Oh, we didn't even mention our Twitters yet, but you can follow me. I'm at Jeff I'm at Jeff _ Benjamin.
And I'm Hey_Tina with 3 A's.
Yes, and I actually ran a poll. I got some good responses, and some people were actually really struggling to decide. But Luna's version outbeat Tail by 52% to 48%.
Okay, so it was very close.
So people are really feeling both of
Yeah.
these tracks, and I think both of them have really a gorgeous delivery
Right.
with this song. And
I love Taeil's voice in general, so
yeah,
I'm gonna have to. I mean, I didn't listen to Luna's version too many times. So right now I would say Taeil's probably. I would go with his, but
Yeah.
that's also because I just love his voice in general. So
no, it's a gorgeous ballad, gorgeous song overall. I can't say enough about Toy. I can't say enough about A Few Years Later. Toy, I especially love they released the music video for it, and it's once again a very new side of them. They're
Right.
very somber. They're very lovelorn. This metaphor of they're just a toy, and this girl can use them and
Right.
treat them however they want.
I thought the whole thing was just so sad, despite the song being like a mid-tempo song, and it had that kind of cute aspect to it because they kind of played up that whole like toy side to things, but they sounded very defeated.
Yeah,
You
see,
know,
that's the thing to
they-
me is that
yeah.
it was sad to me
They were
because
sitting in a P.O. was sitting in a garbage dump.
literally, like
In a
the
literal
girl
garbage dump.
was disposing of this like mannequin hand, or you keep seeing parts of a
Right.
mannequin being disposed of,
Right.
and they are literally sitting in trash.
Right.
They are trash. Trash
and
by
I
this
think
girl.
they really played into the whole, the concept of being disposable.
Yeah.
And they were, expressionless in a lot of shots, and
yeah.
they really, really just played the part very well and
Yeah.
really sold it. And it was very sad. But I will say, a really kind of happier moment in the video for me was when they freaking dabbed. Did you catch that?
No, I must have
Okay,
missed the
you
dab.
need to go. They freaking dabbed, and I
When?
like
When they were
lost my
dancing?
shit. It was in that. It was right after Yukon ripped the piece of paper in half, and then the two pieces of paper did like a split screen, or not split screen. That's not the right term, but it split,
Yeah.
and then it
Yeah.
changed into the choreography.
new scene,
and we
right.
did not get much choreography. It was like a quick like
No.
maybe 15 seconds of like full on choreography. It was
Yeah.
very, very well done. But yeah, they dabbed. It
I
was
know.
crazy. And I was like, that did not just happen. And I loved it. It was amazing.
For those who don't know Tina, because we have, of course, an international audience.
That's true.
What exactly is dabbing?
Dabbing, well, it started out in Atlanta, I believe. And it just became this nationwide craze. It started off
America.
kind of slow, right, in the U.S., and then it became more popular thanks to a football player named Cam Newton,
Right.
who did the dab, in the end zone when he made touchdowns and big plays and stuff. And it's basically it's hard to explain, but it's almost like if you were sneezing into your shoulder.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
It's like sneezing into your shoulder, and then like your or no, maybe it's better if people have played Heads Up 7-Up,
and
and it's like
that's even better.
Yeah, it's like you're putting your head down into your into your forearm,
Yes.
and then you're kind of pointing in the other direction. So if that doesn't give you the right visual, then go back and watch the video.
Yes.
And that's what they did in like the very beginning of the choreography.
Yes.
Routine. So.
Yeah, we'll of course include, as you guys, if you didn't know, on Fuse.tv we include a YouTube playlist of all the music we talk about in the podcast, and we'll include a dabbing video for you, just in case you want to know how to dab.
It's just you wouldn't expect dabbing in like a kind of
Yeah.
R&B ballad
Right,
kind of
right.
song,
That's
and they
the even
actually
funnier part.
worked it in really well. It was really quick.
Yeah, and you
It's
would
like you
think,
blink and you miss it.
Yeah, it wasn't even so shocking that it was there. It was more so shocking that it was there with this type of
this,
song.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you would expect it almost with Bingle Bingle, the
Bingo, bingo.
I believe the final track on here, the one that was
Yeah, the
made
final
by
track.
Yukon and B-Bomb.
Yeah, who I'm almost positive are part of the Block B subunit, Bass Stars. or they're part of that, who
Mm-hmm.
and that's the crazier, the hip hop
Right.
one.
Yeah. This
the,
one was the only track on here that was more blatantly hip hop, harder, that
much
kind of
harder.
sound. They had to include at least one on here, even though the overall concept was, a more sentimental, softer aesthetic.
Yeah, but I definitely appreciated hearing that from them, because I was like, all right, there
For sure.
it
Oh,
is,
I was like, yes, this was what I needed, even though like I enjoy like the overall vibe. But so what is your favorite track on the EP then?
I don't. I want to say Toy, but then I kept going back to a few years later more.
Yeah.
Than and I did really love It Was Love. When I first heard it from Luna.
No love for Walking in the Rain.
Walking in the Rain is nice.
Yeah, it's fine.
When I was listening, it definitely fits in the overall EP.
Right.
It definitely has that same sound.
Right. Walking in the Rain I can see it being on the second EP, which was Welcome to the Block, and that was the one with like Nalina, Did You or Did You Not, Synchronization 100, like Action, that one where it was like a upbeat and kind of fun. So that one I can see it on, or like Walking in the Rain kind of reminded me of that a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Walking in the Rain.
It was fun.
Yeah, I think A Few Years Later is going to be my top favorite. And kind of fun fact, but they won a music show with that song, and they're not even promoting it yet. A few years later. Yeah, so it's kind of Block B is really, really doing well right now. So we kind of went all over the place with this. Really, we went from track to video to Zico to
I
whatnot.
think holistically it was very, very well done and cohesive.
Yeah, no.
I'm really excited for them to full blown like promotions and stages and live shows.
No, exactly. I really want to see this choreography in full, in particular. Yeah, the dabbing and everything.
Oh my God, yeah.
And
I'm just so sad that we only get that little bit of choreography, but maybe for their stages, they're gonna have to,
I know. I'm so ready for it.
More,
yeah,
so.
and they of course were just announced for KCON LA, so I'm excited to see them
that's
there.
It's
gonna
so
be great.
they were there. Was it last year?
They were there last year too.
Okay.
Yeah, they were really great, really fun.
Excuse me.
Yeah, Zico did a bunch of stuff too. So yeah, Black B killing it.
No, I'm excited for them.
Yeah. So let us know what you guys think of Block B and Blooming Period and everything.
Yeah, they have so many fans, so I'm sure we'll get lots of great comments and feedback about them.
Let us know. We're digging it. We're really digging it. All right. Second in the music section comes from.
We're gonna switch gears a little. Switch
very
lanes.
Much switch gears. And I mean, I guess this guy's killing it, but in a completely different way. JY Park, who he actually dropped two new singles, new videos. And we gotta of course talk about the first one. This is Crazy, featuring none other than Conan O'Brien, who I guess I actually watched for the backstory for anyone who doesn't know, Conan, the talk show host on TBS, with his own show and everything. He, I guess, got hit up by someone in South Korea, who wanted to bring him, who was a huge fan, sent him snacks from Korea, and said,
snacks?
Brought him Korean snacks.
Korean snacks are bomb.
And wanted to, kind of made a case for him to come there, and he did, and I guess linked up with JYP and the singer, and
that kind of doesn't even surprise me, just because JYP is so international, and that doesn't surprise me, and that's really cool.
Yeah, and they made this, they made this music video called. The first one was called Crazy, and the music video, I should say, he did with Conan is called Crazy. Stephen Yeun from The Walking Dead is in it. It also got the Wonder Girls in it, and Twice is in it, girl groups. So, yeah, this was, a big story over here.
Very star-studded.
Extremely star-studded. And just like the first thing I want to say about all this is that I think it's really cool that even though, clearly this was put on, Conan's YouTube, and it was very much aimed towards his audience or whatnot, the whole song's still in Korean, which I think is really cool.
And it wasn't like a joke. It was an actual release by JYP, right? Like,
I don't hate the song at all.
This is his official music video for the single, isn't it?
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, I don't think they would have released it if it wasn't.
It's very okay. I will say if I didn't know it was JYP, I'm not sure if I would like the song that much, because it's just a little it's a little throwback kind of like a little like wacky kind of sounding
It's
and
very
funk
wacky.
and like dance and a whole bunch of stuff in there. But it is very catchy.
Oh
I can
yeah.
see Jeff like doing karaoke or noraebang to this in Korean.
Noriba.
Yeah, it's very like funky and fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, what'd you think of the crazy visuals?
I mean, I didn't hate the song at all. The visuals, I mean, it was very just like I think it was done like this on purpose,
Yeah.
just like very done up. Even like
Purposely silly.
right. Wonder Girls were looking like very interesting in
Right.
my opinion. You've been killing it, but had one of her more wilder looks.
Oh, yeah.
I would argue.
Yeah.
But I loved seeing Wonder Girls, be his band, and Twice looked
Right.
adorable. Although I was sad. One of my favorite members wasn't there. Dayoung
Aw.
wasn't there. If you notice, there were only 8 instead of 9.
Right.
But yeah. But I thought it was really fun. I mean, obviously, like it was supposed to be ridiculous. It was supposed to be like very fun and whatnot.
Right.
So
I will say, like, even though I appreciated the goofiness, excuse me. See, there it is. There's the hacking.
Careful.
Even though I appreciate the goofiness, I almost felt like it was a little, maybe too goofy and like parody at times. Just because I kind of wish, like, things exposed to mainstream American audiences
okay.
isn't always kind of funny
Yeah.
sigh parody, because
Totally.
that's what they know.
Yeah.
So I almost wish it was a little bit more serious, but I get it. That's
Right. Yeah. They didn't need like.
it is late night TV, so they're not gonna have
Yes.
something like super like serious.
Yeah, you can't forget, like, he is a comedian, et cetera, et cetera. His whole thing
Right.
is to make people. But yeah, I agree. They didn't necessarily need, like, to have, like, the bottle, like, labeled K-pop.
Oh yeah, that
you
was
know?
like a little corny to
I was
me.
like, oh, seriously.
Right.
I was like, come on. By the way, I meant to pronounce her name. I meant to say Yeun is her name, not
okay.
Dayoon. Sorry.
It's
Don't want
okay.
Twice fans or JYP
To
fans
come
on
for
me.
you.
But yeah, crazy is and, I mean it's I do agree with you, but maybe Conan isn't the person to totally make K-pop a legitimate thing.
Right, exactly.
But I look to someone like CL for that, or
Yeah.
someone else, or Zico, or someone
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Dean, or someone like that. But that's neither here nor there. But
But
crazy.
it was a nice surprise and fun to
Yeah.
watch, and
Oh my gosh, so much fun. And I hope maybe people are like influenced to like check out like some other stuff by JYP or other stuff by JYP artists,
Yeah.
or see.
oh my goodness. Okay, so we're recording in a new room today because the other 2 rooms were not available.
Our usual
It's like-
studios.
It's like this editing pod, and there's like no windows, and then the light suddenly just turned off by
I just
itself.
went out. I'm surprised I didn't
So we're
scream.
sitting in darkness with like the glow of like the
Of the
editing
monitor.
panel,
I
like
know,
thingy majig.
I'm a little scared.
That was a little
No,
weird.
I'm
Cool.
usually so jumpy, but I'm
Well,
surprised
actually, I
didn't scream.
mean, this is. It feels more calm and
Yeah,
whatnot.
it's a nice mood to be
Yeah.
with you here tonight. Let's keep talking about JYP.
Yeah. But yeah, the man's a legend, so.
Yeah, well, he actually, so speaking of which, he references his legendary status. And so I guess he released like this 2-song EP. It's called Still Alive. And Still Alive is the other song that he
Right.
released. And basically, it's almost like an ode to his legend.
To his,
legendness.
To his relevancy.
Yeah, basically. I mean,
Despite his age and everything,
Yeah.
he is still extremely relevant to K-pop and to mainstream media. You know, and he has been for many years.
Yeah, he has a song. I mean, it's called Still Alive, and basically it's like, yeah, I'm still alive. I'm still here. I'm not
Right.
just here. I'm thriving.
Yeah.
And he kind of references references a lot of old music videos that he did, old things he did from the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s. And I love that he is making a statement, but it's also very much poking fun at himself. Like, if you're like, it starts out with these girls are in line to get autographs from GOT7, one of his artists actually under his label, but and then it's actually him who's signing the autographs, and they're seemingly a little disappointed, but he's
Right,
saying,
right.
"Yo, I got a legacy here," and he's doing really funny things like referencing the what's it called? He has these. Oh, you have to see this like image, but like he did this photo shoot where like he had these like see-through pants that were like
Oh,
that
right,
where you
right.
could
It's
see
like
his
his plastic pants.
Yeah,
That's like
plastic
his,
pants.
That's like his signature
Yeah.
look from back in the day.
It was a signature look or just a remembered look or like remembered for like
well,
how ridiculous.
it's like a heavily memed JYP look.
That's a good way to put it. Because I
Yeah.
was like, wait a minute, he did this more than once. Because this wasn't totally my era. I was maybe
Right.
10.
I mean,
But
you could see like the underwear and
Yeah.
all of that. It's just like
very different times. For
right. It was
K-pop.
different times.
But he references
Very-
that too, which I love. And yeah, just it's not the most groundbreaking, mind-blowing music video or anything, but it's kind of cool, I think.
Right.
That he kind of did this whole thing. He's teaming up with Conan O'Brien. Who would have known? Yeah, so lots of fun stuff coming from J.Y. Park.
Yeah.
The legend himself.
I never thought that we would be talking about one of his releases on here.
Really?
Yeah, I guess it's just
Do you remember like last year, maybe 2 years ago, he released that? Did you hear that song "Who's Your Mama" that he references in that video as well?
oh yeah.
It was a pretty like
Yeah.
boppable song.
He
you
kind
know?
of like it's like comes out from nowhere sometimes.
Yeah, right. So good for him. Still killing it. Still
Yeah.
doing his thing. So there you go. And then last but not least, speaking of JYP artists, we got a quick new single from our boys GOT7, who have just been
Yeah.
killing it all over the place on the charts in America and in Korea too. And yeah, they released this new song. It's apparently the second title track, or sorry, second single that they're going to be promoting, and it's called "Home Run." Tina, how do you think "Home Run" compared to "Fly"?
Why is this song a single?
Ooh, someone doesn't sound happy
No,
about
it's
this.
not. It's fine. It's just out of all the tracks on here, especially after a bomb ass song like "Fly," why would you choose something so generic? It's the closing track on the album, and to me, it doesn't. It's not that like, it's not like super standout. So, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. It just surprised me. I thought they would go with something, maybe like a bit slower or just a different vibe or something. Maybe something not so dancey.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of remember. I mean, Home Run wasn't, or sorry, Run wasn't my favorite. Run, Fly, how about? Wasn't my favorite.
I was like, we're switching groups now?
No, Fly wasn't, totally my favorite single from them. Home Run, I mean, I can't honestly, I don't really know which one I like more. I'm a fan of Home Run. I
Okay.
like the funky strings, the strumming that's coming in. I like the woozy synths that are coming in. I do kind of agree that it doesn't have that same punch that
Right,
like,
it's
you'd
not
expect.
punchy enough, and it's underwhelming to me as
Yeah.
a follow-up single.
And it'd be one thing, I was sort of hoping that they were going to maybe release a fun baseball themed video or something like that. Just because I love a good sports concept in K-pop.
Yeah.
There's nothing better
For
than
sure,
it.
I mean, it would kind of tie into their first concept that was, or like the first singles concept, since they did look sportier in there. So
Yeah.
I really like the third track, which I mentioned to you. That's it's a little slower though, so I can understand why they didn't pick it. I believe it's called Bichina.
Oh, is that See the Light?
I think so.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. I like that one. Even the second track, the title I can't even recall right now.
Counts,
But
yeah.
yeah,
no,
just something
those
a little
songs
bit
did well, I
different.
remember,
Yeah.
on the charts too. But yeah, no, very curious about this angle for GOT7, especially if Fly was kind of doing quite well. So
Right, it was such a hit.
yeah, so very interesting choices. But
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how it does on the charts.
On the charts.
And then speaking of which,
Speaking of charts,
why don't we move on to our chart section, our weekly look at the top 5 songs on the iTunes, U.S. iTunes K-pop chart, where we see who's doing well. And as you guys know, we are currently having a game right now where we, because there were just so many comebacks in April on K-pop, and we decided to recruit different groups for 2 teams, and then
Yes.
whoever landed singles in the top 5 would get a point every week, and then the person who wins, we think we're gonna buy them a bottle of wine or something.
Yeah.
So real quick rundown on Team Jeff. I got CN Blue, Vix, 17, Taeyeon, and Monsta X.
And I have Day 6, Block B, Twice, Uptension, and Wonder Girls.
And this is the overall look schedule of who's supposed to come out
Yes.
in that month. So we are seeing that. Shout out to Fuse.tv editor Jason Lipschitz, who hit us both of us up on Twitter while listening. It's so nice when your coworkers support you. And he wrote, "How do I vote for Team Jeff or Team Tina?" And we're not actually sure. We didn't think this totally out.
We didn't get that far.
But you guys should just keep tweeting us and say, I'm on your team because you like this artist or you like this artist or you just like us better.
Yeah.
And, we'll keep the friendly competition going.
Or if you want to, indirectly show support, get everyone to, purchase music from a certain artist, I guess, so...
Flood the charts.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do to help me win. You hear that, people?
If I buy you a bottle of wine, I would just end up drinking half of it at least myself. So
That works. All right, so let's see. So it's currently tied at 0-0 because the month just started. So last month, so we didn't get any points last month. But I have a feeling we're gonna see some points this week, I should say. So at number 5 is a song called Queen by History.
Yeah.
And History, I randomly came across this song, and I actually have to give a shout out. And I looked into it because shout out to my friend Adrienne Stanley. You've read her work on places like MTV, Iggy, and K-pop stars. And she mentioned, I remember her mentioning to me once, History is a group, an underrated boy band that I should definitely check out, because she kept mentioning they have these kind of throwback jazz feels, and I was like, I gotta check out this group. And then I saw that they had a new single. I'm like, I'm gonna press play on this, and I really like this track.
It's actually really good.
You listen to it?
I like it. I like the chorus a lot. Like you said, kind of jazzy influence. You can hear the sax in there.
Yeah. But this one's definitely modern, too, which was very cool to hear.
Right.
It's definitely got that, saxophone hook that everyone was using these last couple of years.
Yeah.
Which I don't hate at all. But I'm feeling it.
Right.
So,
it wasn't overdone. Just a little sprinkle in there. It was actually surprisingly really good. And the video was fine. They're actually really good looking. And I was like, hey.
History, hey.
Yeah.
Make Tina your queen.
And they were the first boy group to debut from Low End Entertainment.
Right, which is the which is IU's label. IU, huge solo superstar. I believe 5-star, Fiesta, however.
So I'm surprised that they weren't on our radar before this.
Yeah, they're definitely flying under the radar, but maybe the song will be the one to kind of break them out.
It's really good.
We're feeling it.
And it's on iTunes Top 5. So.
Yeah, good for them. Sweet job, History. At number 4 is a band actually we're about to get to, but stay tuned for that. But it's NCT U with Without You. This is a song sung by Jaehyun, Do-young, and Taeil, who are part of this new boy band under SM Entertainment. SM Entertainment, huge K-pop label with Girls' Generation and Super Junior and BoA and TVXQ and EXO.
They just took the term worldwide to a whole nother level with this NCT concept, which we'll get to.
Yeah, we're going to talk all about it. If you guys are confused by it, don't worry. We got it all figured out to the best of our ability.
To the best.
And we are going to get into this.
Yes.
So stay tuned. But NCT, and this was a comeback that also kind of just popped out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And so
that was
good
quick.
for them.
Yeah. And that's a great song.
Yeah. You're feeling it?
Yeah, I like it.
Cool. We'll get to them in a second. At number 3, and this is where I have to unfortunately give Tina a point, is Toy by Block B.
Yes.
Putting us 1-0, Tina in the lead. Block B, Toy. It shot right up there into the top 5. And I believe a lot of their other songs are doing quite well too, but Toy's out charting them all. So great job, Block B.
Great job, Block B. Great job, Tina.
Yeah, great job, Tina. Just wait, my teams are coming. And number 2 is GOT7's Home Run, which got its own single release just recently, so that shot up to number 2 right there. So GOT7, we're
still doing very
feeling
well.
it.
Yeah.
Yes, Fly I believe was number 1 for the last 2 or 3 weeks or something. So
yeah.
they finally got shot down. And then number 1 is also NCT U. These are the 2 singles they released. This is the song called The Seventh Sense. Sung by Taeyong, Mark, Jaehyun, Doyoung, and Ten. And that's number 1. But so let's just get right into our deep cut section.
What a perfect transition.
Perfect. Wow, the episode is just writing itself this week. So this week's deep cut section, where we talk about a trending topic or something that's controversial, something interesting happening in the K-pop world. And SM Entertainment has kicked off their ambitious NCT project. So NCT stands for, first of all, it's called Neo Culture Technology. This was introduced recently at a SM Entertainment board presentation, basically. And the overall idea is to sort of make K-pop a world, like, so if K-pop was successfully exported by these groups and by these companies, the new idea is to make K-pop local, and that includes in countries all around the world.
Right.
So this idea kicks off with this boy band. The brand, it's not, you can't even really call it a boy band, right? It's like a brand.
It's a brand, yeah. I was about to say that's probably the best way to explain it at this point.
The NCT brand has been kicked off with its first unit of sorts. It's called NCT U, and they've released 2 songs that are getting that. So just for first and foremost, the first songs are called Seventh Sense, which is number 1 on the K-pop iTunes chart, and Without You, which is number 4, I believe. Yeah, number 4. And let's first get into the concept before we get into the song.
Yeah.
Sound good? So, so I first actually want to just explain this. This is how the members explained it. So they did a streaming broadcast where they tried to explain, what NCT is, what they bring to the table, and a member, Doyoung, explained it like this. This is a translation from from a broadcast. He said, "This is a group that has a different concept from other groups that already existed before. First of all, there's no limit for numbers of members, and the recruitment for new members is flexible too. We're not just one team started from Seoul and we're staged at major cities around the world. We're infinitely open, infinitely expandable. We're a worldwide group."
Yes.
And all the members seem to be very happy with that description.
With the explanation, yeah.
So basically, NCT, they'll be, and we're doing our best here, so keep up with us and, help us out. Send us some comments if you guys hear anything we else need to know. But there will be basically different units going on,
right,
that will debut under the name of NCT. Like, there'll maybe be NCT A, NCT B, but the first one they released was NCT U.
Right. And I think that the key words here are based in, like they said, SM explained that groups will be debuting while based in different countries. They might be rooted, their core might be in one country, but that doesn't mean they can't shift to promote in another country, and that's the whole purpose. They emphasize mobility and being dynamic, and it's not like a static group when you need to move the entire group from one location to another to promote. So, for example, the members who perform the Seventh Sense, there are 5 members, but then there are 2 Chinese members, obviously based in China, who will promote in China later on, and I think some members will go to China to perform, and it's like they're basically almost like sporadically active and inactive. Like, you don't, like, some will be debuting in Latin America, some will be debuting in Japan and Korea, whatever. So it's not so like textbook and planned out.
Right.
And you can't predict exactly what they're going to do next.
Yeah. Which is very ambitious.
It's a
very
interesting. Very interesting concept. And they're also debuting, I think, is it like their first, I can't remember what exactly the stage is called, or if it's their first concert or what, but they're doing something through the V app.
Yeah.
So they're really tying in technology, and they're really trying to find the best way to interact digitally around the world through this group.
Yeah. And so, it really seems like they're doing all that they can to and it's a very indicative of where K-pop is and where especially like pop music is that like K-pop would not be where it is today if it weren't for internet and technology and
Right.
YouTube and streaming and how many international fans are tuning in for those showcase broadcasts and tuning in with V app
Right.
which is something done by Naver, which is like Korea's Google basically,
Mm-hmm.
and they have a lot of those broadcasts are so remarkable because they're translated in real time, which is
Right.
so incredible. And that's actually where that description from Do Young came from, was on a V app broadcast. And it's really ambitious and fascinating what they're doing. And, like just like Tina was saying, is that the members will kind of be moving from place to place,
Yeah.
and nothing's really fixed and everything's
Right.
very
Exactly.
fluid.
That's a good way to put it.
And that's the thing, is that so I find this very interesting that it's coming from SM first and foremost, because I would almost argue that SM has realized if you are an SM fan, if you're a fan of Girls' Generation, or if you're an EXO fan or you're a SHINee fan, what have you, you are more or less fans of the other groups under that label. You
Right.
you can kind of count on SM to deliver a certain kind of aesthetic,
Exactly.
a certain kind of look, a certain kind of quality product.
Right.
And they're almost kind of taking that and being like, look, this is working for wherever it goes. You
Right.
just know it's a brand. It's like, if you like a certain car company, you're going to get that whether you live in Hawaii or you live in, New York
Exactly.
City or something. You depend on that brand
Right.
almost. And that's what I feel like they're almost playing off of, is that like, it's which is fascinating in my opinion. What do you think of the idea?
I think that's a really good that's a really good analogy. It's just it's
It's a little dehumanizing.
yeah,
gonna say that.
it's like selling a product in like a whole nother way, a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I think in the beginning when we first started talking about NCT, you said like exporting and stuff like that, and it really is kind of like the export consumer, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to think, how will this affect fans on a daily basis?
Yeah. I wonder about this too.
I don't know, because it's like the way you consume it is essentially the same, right?
Yeah, right.
It's
No.
just maybe it's just if anything more accessible.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that I wonder if it can go two ways in my opinion. It can be more accessible. It can work out like you're seeing more like so they mentioned plans for Latin America, which
Right.
is really interesting.
Right.
But if a fan in Latin America sees a member who maybe grew up in Latin America, whatever country they're in, say they're in Guatemala, and they see someone who maybe, I don't know if they're going to be full Guatemalan or half Korean, half
Right.
Guatemalan, but if they might see themselves more in a member like that, or singers
Right.
like that, and that might make it more accessible, or Chinese members might see themselves better in the Chinese members or something like that. It can go that way. But also, I wonder if there's such fluidity and such changing and such, this infinite possibility with members, because I think a lot of K-pop fans like to see, oh, my, so-and-so member did, got this many lines in this
Right.
song, or, oh my gosh, like this person
Right.
really shined on this release. And if
Right.
you never really know what you're going to get, I guess on one hand it could be kind of exciting. On the other hand, it might be a little disappointing if you're like, oh man, like where did so-and-so go,
Right, totally. We forgot to mention that they will be releasing the same singles in different languages. So there is a Chinese version to Without You.
Yeah, already
since,
out
like,
there.
Right, since I think Win is his name, from Zhejiang, China, which is very close to where my family's from. I'm from Shanghai. So, yeah, so he's in that video. And I think the song sounds great, like as a Chinese song as well. So they're going to be doing that. But I think another thing that's really interesting is that when this is different from just a K-pop group debuting with one or two members who are of Chinese descent or Taiwanese or, what have you. Because then like if you're Chinese, you see it as one of your people is going over to Korea and establishing themselves in Korea,
Right.
That's probably how you see it. Whereas this concept, I think it's more, they are still, what's the, like not like stateside, that's not the right word. Like they're still in our home country. They're not leaving China.
They're still native.
They're
yeah.
still native, and they're like bringing in the
Yeah.
music.
And that's what I think SM is trying to play off of, is saying, like, we're not, for lack of a better word, taking
Right.
people from other countries.
Right.
We are saying we're making it homegrown. We're
Right.
making it more local. We're making
Exactly.
it more, domesticated almost, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what I think. And that's what I think is, you know, goes back to that whole idea, is that they have a brand, they have an aesthetic, they have a look, they have a quality that you can depend on and go to, and they're trying to bring that no matter where
Yeah.
you're at in the world, apparently.
Yeah.
So, and you know, I think this is very indicative. You know, if you go to SM's headquarters in Korea, they have like, you can, it's very clear that they know their brand, and they, you know, there are shirts and backpacks and hats and pillows and all these things that are very much them, and they have this whole, you know, become a K-pop star, you know, thing that you can do photo shoots that are very
Right.
SM.
It's a whole
looking.
experience.
Yeah, and that's, I think they're
Very
trying to bring
immersive.
that
Yeah.
experience to, you know, the local markets in different kind of ways. And I'm very curious. You know, I think it's interesting they didn't mention America yet, but I am curious what will happen with it all.
I know. So, like, should we get into the actual songs and
Sure.
what we thought of
Yeah, let's
them?
quickly get into those. Yeah. Which one do you want to get into first?
Let's go with Without You, since we mentioned that already real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, at first I thought it was a little generic, but I actually
Yeah.
really like it now. And the more I listen to it, and I also listen to the Chinese version, I think it's a very versatile song. I think I can hear it in the Western market.
Okay.
If you were to change it into an English song.
It has a U2 feel almost
Yeah,
to it.
yeah. And obviously, I think it sounds great in Korean. And then when I listen to it in Chinese, I'm like, this is kind of like a C-pop-esque song already if you
Yeah.
did like kind of C-pop rock. And I listen to some C-pop, so I can hear it like natively produced in Chinese. So I like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I wonder if they are kind of choosing songs even that will have that more
Yeah.
overall appeal. Because if we, real quickly about the other single, the one that's
Mm-hmm.
number one on iTunes right now, the
Seventh
Seventh
Sense, yeah.
Sense one, that one almost to me sounded more like a YG release
Oh,
to me,
yeah.
or something that I would have expected from them.
Yes.
But again, it's very accessible, in my opinion, very malleable, like a hip hop sound.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, this could work wherever you kind of go. And I think
Exactly.
YG is very good at that musically too, is
Right.
having those sounds that are very like accessible in a more hip hop realm. So I
Right.
thought that was interesting when I was hearing that from those guys. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait a minute here. I
And
think I get it.
Yeah. Excuse me. And two of the members who performed Without You also performed
Yes.
in The Seventh Sense.
So we're already
and the two songs
mixing.
are completely different.
Yeah, which you know is, you know, I hope they're all happy, you know, getting different songs and different sounds, different things to try out, because you know, Seventh Sense is very hip hop, very hardcore choreography
Yes.
based, and then you know, really, in my
It's
perspective,
like
very
very
impressive.
sultry, kind
Yeah.
of dark, and it's funny because if you don't read the translation or you don't understand Korean, it sounds like a very sexual song because, I mean, they're saying like, let's take it slow, ooh,
Right.
baby, whatever. But that's like, you look at the lyrics and it's like, no, it's about like being trapped in your dreams or something and like, you know, feeling self-guilt, and it's very dark and it's not a sexual song, to be honest. But
Right.
you know what? It works. Like if
It's
you want to take it as a sexual song,
Hey.
and that, I mean, the aesthetic sonically, it sounds like a sultry, sexy song. So
Yeah.
it's sellable in that respect.
There you go. Yeah.
And
Very
their
hot right now.
choreography is insane.
Yeah, that was very impressive.
And like it's one of like usually when groups release dance videos or performance versions of music videos, I tend to skip them since I don't really want to sit there and watch like a white backdrop and you kind of like dancing around or whatever. But they made it really, really interesting. And they
Yeah.
obviously like, you know, blended it with, you know, closer cuts or whatever, and like
Yeah.
other faces, and
I watched it too. It was really cool, and I'm usually not one to
Right,
check
right.
those out entirely, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no,
impressive.
it's very captivating.
Yeah, and SM's known for those, really strong debuts, but
Yeah.
that was
Did
really
anyone
cool.
stand out to you?
I had heard about Taeyong just in the
From
past.
yeah.
He was on a Red Velvet single. So I believe he's like one of the more like leadership members.
He's like one of the yeah. He's
He might be the
definitely one of
leader.
the more like because obviously I don't think they're gonna label anyone the leader or the front man just because it's not fixed or anything. But he definitely has a lot of fans. He had some controversy surrounding his debut just because stuff
about this.
some
Yeah.
stuff came up with his like a few years ago. He was online and he was like saying these obscene things to like some girls or something. I don't
Right.
really know the exact,
Heard
but
about this.
apparently he just said some very like inappropriate things. And then I don't know what it means when they said he scammed people.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's for money or for something else, but he did some things
something
that
eBay-esque.
Yeah.
Promising things that
So-
were not.
right. So people were like, "This is problematic. Like, why we shouldn't show support for him." But I think as of now, it seems to be fine, and that people are receptive to him, and he's one of the. Let's be honest, he's one of the like better looking ones of the group, and they're all very good looking. But he's definitely he's like he gives me like major Jaejoon vibes for like Jaejoon formerly of DBSK, now part of JYJ. Kind of got that vibe look going on. He's also the one, if you don't know their names but you've seen the video, he's the one with like the white blonde hair, or more white than anything.
You won't be able to forget him. Which is
Right.
probably why he mostly.
He stands out a lot for his oh my god, the
There
lights
goes
just
the
went off
lights
again.
again.
Okay. So yeah, and then it's a very, very worldwide international group. Mark, the other rapper, is from Canada.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I did hear that. Yes, I did hear
Right.
that.
And then 10 is Thai.
Yeah.
And then I think right, and then of course we mentioned the two Chinese members who are
Right.
going to be like, I guess, working their way into promotions eventually.
Right. So right off the bat, they're really coming with this international
Yes.
overall, concept, even with their members, which is fascinating. So
Yeah. And
NCT.
I love the Seventh Sense. I think it's deservingly number one and on the charts right now. And I'm glad that people are liking the concept right now. So
yeah, well, I'm very curious to see how this all works out. So,
yeah.
neo culture technology.
Oh, we also forgot to mention that all of these members, part of NCT, they're all being pulled from a bigger pool called SM Rookies.
Yeah. So yeah, as you guys know, like, or if you don't know, I should say, these labels, whether it's JYP Entertainment, whether it's YG Entertainment, whoever it might be, they have these like people they train with for years, months, years, at times,
Right.
and apparently SM has a lot of male rookies to
Right.
to kind
It's
of
like
take from.
they have like over 100.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just with a huge
Right.
conglomerate like that. There's a lot of people working with them.
Yeah, a
and
lot of
being
them are
trained
from
in that world.
the worldwide global auditions, like because
Yes.
these labels, they come to big cities
Yeah.
all around the world and have people audition, and the ones they like, they're invited to join SM in Korea. So some of these people have been training since like the
Yeah.
'08 global auditions, and that's insane, and they're just now debuting.
Right, exactly. And obviously, you don't debut a groups every year. It's a
Right.
process, and so this is
Definitely.
like the next one since I guess Red Velvet is now two. I don't want to mess up the timing, but actually maybe they're not even 2 years
Not
old.
even two, yeah.
But then that's the newest group. So it clearly is a process. This is going to be a process. I'll be curious. Does SM need more boy bands
Right.
after this? I don't know. I
But
mean,
maybe
this
this
it.
is their way of being like, we want to release more boy bands. We're gonna do it in a different way, though.
Yeah.
That's not gonna make us seem stale, So
Yeah, so I'm very curious. I wonder if there will be anything that they do with like their female trainees.
Yeah.
Somebody tells me I don't think we'll see something like that, but yeah, very curious. So
Yeah.
neoculture
So
technology.
props to SM for experimenting on this level.
Yeah, it's very ambitious.
Yes.
I'm very curious. We'll keep you guys updated on everything. We'll include the music videos for all the different performance
Yes.
and language.
Y'all
and
gotta
everything.
watch the video for
Yes.
the Seventh Sense.
Yes,
It's bananas.
definitely do so. But yes, we want to hear what you guys think of this and all the things we talked about on K-Stop every week.
Yes.
And yes, tune in next week to see who wins the April comeback battle, chart battle competition. Tina's up 1, I'm at 0. And we'll see you guys next week as
See you
always.
next week, and I promise I will sound better next
we
week.
promise, yes. So thanks as always, guys. This has been Jeff.
And this is Tina. Bye,
See you next
y'all.
week. Bye-bye.